Razvan on with us. Would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm Razvan. I currently live in London and we are helping real estate agencies to get more deals into their pipeline through mentorship and through do-it-yourself services. And yeah, that is basically what we do.
Okay, great. And did you grow up in London, or where are you originally from another part of England?
Well, I was born in Romania and I came in England about 3 or 4 years ago. And I attended a business seminar all about property investing and all about getting started in real estate. And I had the pleasure to connect with a lot of real estate investors and a lot of real estate agents there. And they took me under their wing, and I've learned so much about the industry. And I've noticed that there was a big problem with generating leads. And yeah, that's how the idea of the platform came.
Okay, and when you were younger, growing up in Romania, did you ever foresee yourself working in real estate, or um, how did that transition go about?
Do you know, it's kind of funny because I was always looking at the big buildings. I was always fascinated about, um, looking at the constructions, and I was always looking at the people that own the construction, always looking at people who own real estate. And most of the times, I've seen that they were powerful, that they were, how do you call this, that they've had control over their life. So the people who own the real estate, they were the guys that obviously had money, had influence in the community. So I kind of can say that it was always a passion of me.
Okay, so you knew that back in Romania, and when you came over to the UK,
Yes,
things
yeah, yeah.
started to become more clear.
Yes, 100%. I had no idea how can I get started in real estate. And yeah, it was just all about looking. It was always just dreams, and step by step, it currently came to fruition.
Okay. Was there a specific person that brought you in, or how did you go from zero to knowing what you know now and being involved in the industry?
Um, Once again, it was just the seminar that I've attended, and I've had the pleasure to work with a realtor and a real estate investor. So the speaker from the seminar actually became my friend because in the break he was outside smoking a cigarette, and I just went to him and I've introduced myself, and he liked the fact that I was currently studying business in college. And yeah, we just started talking from there. We've connected on LinkedIn, and we shared the phone numbers and started communicating with him. So that's that he was my first mentor in business and in real estate.
Okay. And when he was your mentor, what were you mostly doing with him?
Okay, so first of all, he was talking to me about personal branding and the stuff that he was doing. So first of all, obviously I've attended his seminar because of his personal brand. Okay, and we were talking about how to build one for yourself, how to get more people to follow you and to have a bigger sphere of influence. Okay, the second thing that we've talked about was actually sales and getting into sales. He advised me to get a sales job and learn how to communicate and sell products and um, have influence over people, how to develop this skill of selling. And then the last thing was actually real estate, because at the time I didn't understood why don't we talk about just real estate. But then he explained to me that, listen, the first few steps before you get to the big thing, the first few steps need to be obviously learning what comes in real estate. So that's what we mainly talked about when we first started to work with each other.
Yeah, understood. It kind of seems like it's kind of almost counterintuitive in a way, because you think that you
Yes,
would do the opposite, but he's telling you to kind of stick to the basics first.
yes, 100%, 100%. He was the guy that actually told me you need to take the thing step by step and understand that. to get started in real estate is all about taking the small steps, and there's more to it than just buildings, because buildings are owned by people. And first of all, you need to know how to connect with people and talk to people, and how to get a sphere of influence, how to build a network.
Okay. And if you were someone, who's watching right now, you don't have that sphere of influence, you're trying to create a personal brand, what would, how would you even start about, going about that?
Well, there's many ways on how you can get started. So first of all, I know that there's coronavirus right now and the networking events are shut down, but that would be the first thing that you can do. You can search on Google real estate meetings, or you can go to meetup.com and find places where you can actually go and talk to like-minded people. You can go and talk to realtors or real estate investors, builders, contractors, and you can start basically get your foot wet. Okay, so that's the first thing that you can do. The second one is to just go on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is really a really useful platform to find people that are involved just by simply searching their title, just by simply searching their profession. And from there, you can just connect with them, start a chat, probably ask for advice, probably just ask a few things about, hey, I'm just fresh in real estate. I would like to be a real estate marketer. I would like to be a realtor, a mortgage broker, a contractor. How did you get started? So look for the people that have been there before. And LinkedIn and networking events are a really, really good point where you can start to obviously build your network.
Sure, absolutely. It seems like the rules have kind of changed a bit, given
Yes.
the worldwide economic situation. So with all that being said, what kind of adjustments are you making right now in terms of marketing?
Well, currently is the same things that we were doing before, just everything is online. So before we would go and talk to clients face to face. Now, obviously, Zoom and Skype are some tools that we use every single day. And yeah, it's the same as before. We were going on LinkedIn, we were talking to people, we were connecting with other people that were actually doing. So, for example, if we wanted to find partners, if we wanted to find people to interview, or we wanted to ask for advice, we will simply go on LinkedIn. And there's no difference. People now have a lot of time on their hands. They can talk to you. Obviously, because of the whole madness that was going on with the coronavirus, people actually took a step back and are more human. Okay, they actually want to speak to you. They have a little bit more time, and they want to give you a hand. Why not?
Yeah, no, it's interesting you say that, how kind of we've had that little psychological shift where maybe do you
Yeah,
find that people are more open to talking and building those relationships after coronavirus, or
100%,
yeah?
100%. Because by the end of the day, we need people. Whatever we're doing, we need people, and we need support. Okay, so in whatever we do, we will always need people. Just forget about robots and all social media stuff, and forget about automation. By the end of the day, everything is run by people. So my point here is that because of what happened, people understand that the economic situation has changed and people need help. Obviously, you will need to go through a couple of them. Some of them will just not be interested to speak to you, or be too caught up on themselves. But what I think what you need to do is just go through a big number of people, and yeah, another big piece of advice would be, if you want to go on LinkedIn, don't just message people in your area. You can go worldwide. Okay, you can go really, really broad, because even here in the UK, we were still talking to people that were in America. We were still talking to people that were in Romania and were involved in real estate. So that's kind of how things work when it comes to connecting with people from distance.
Sure, absolutely. There definitely is that connection. I'm not sure if they, well, at least right now, the flights have been suspended, but I know that we were having direct flights Austin to, I want to say to Heathrow in London.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, and I've met, I wouldn't say a lot, but met quite a few people from the UK that are living and working in Austin.
Okay.
Um,
Wow. Awesome.
yeah, so definitely is that there's definitely that connection there.
Wow. Awesome. Unbelievable. But basically, London is really big, and we've got like four airports. Some of them are open, some of them are closed. It just depends. I don't know. There's so much uncertainty, especially that UK right now is. I think we have the highest numbers in Europe at the moment for coronavirus. So we just need to wait for things to go back to normal.
Sure, absolutely. So how do you like what do you foresee I guess what per what permanent changes would you see in the business culture moving forward, not just in the UK but just worldwide?
Well, I strongly believe that people will understand the power of social media. First of all, if people were skeptical about putting their money on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, I think now they understand that, hey, you can connect with people even if you don't call them. You can connect with people if you do not meet them face to face. So I guess companies will start advertising more using those platforms. That's the second thing, I guess. The second point would be the working remotely. I think Google now is thinking about having all of their employee or a big part of their employees working from home because there's no need for them to hire very expensive office buildings. So I think that's going to be a major change in the future. Because let's face it, with the power of Zoom and the tools from Google and Skype, you can actually work remotely very, very good. Uh, employers can actually check the work remotely. They don't need to be behind you to see what you got going on. So I think that's going to be a major step forward for us as a race, as humans, to just stay indoors and work from the comfort of our own home.
Sure, absolutely. I actually read one article, oddly enough, last week, and they were mentioning how, I mean, take a city like Austin, for example, it can be an effort for people to get downtown, you make the commute, you have to
Yes.
park, you get to the office. Some companies have made propositions that they're just wanting people to come 9 to 12 on Monday mornings, and they would
Hmm.
have some sort of staff meeting, have a nice lunch for them midday on Monday, and then working remote until the Monday of the following week.
Wow. Well, that's actually a great plan. It's a really good thing. Well, you mentioned Austin. London is the same. So if you want to travel 20 miles into London, that will take you probably an hour and a half, especially around 8 a.m. in the morning when everyone is just going. And it's madness. Okay, yeah, you feel like you're inside of a can in the tube. The traffic is just slow. So I think that will be a step forward. I think that will be something good for as many people as possible to work from home.
Sure, absolutely. It's interesting to think about what sort of impact this would have on the commercial or residential side. So for you, what do you work more with residential or commercial,
Yes,
or where
yes.
specifically are you?
Residential. We only help realtors that are doing residential properties, because commercial is a little bit more different and it requires some other strategies. We were thinking to build a course and a platform for that as well, but at the moment, no, we just all about residential.
Okay. And when you say build a platform for residential realtors, what exactly would that look like?
Well, the platform is essentially built out of courses. It has mentorship programs as well that you can opt in for. You can log into to the platform and have conversation with other realtors, change ideas, and is once again more like a networking platform where you can actually learn new skills, where you can actually learn new strategies and new ideas. Because my mentor, as we discussed before, he told me the power of building a sphere of influence. He told me about the power of connecting and networking with people. So that's why I wanted to take those ideas and transfer this into a online platform.
Okay. And in that industry, just in real estate, what do you think a common misconception about digital marketing or about marketing in general would be?
Well, one of the biggest one is that you don't need it because many people, especially in the UK, we have a lot of real estate agencies that are placed on high streets in downtown, so in places where there's a lot of traffic. Okay, so they just think that by sitting in the office and putting some pictures of your current listings in the door will just help you to get a lot of clients. And don't get me wrong, that works and it works really good. But if you just rely on those, the business is not gonna work. And we've discussed with a lot of our past clients, we've discussed with a lot of people during this pandemic, and they've realized that hey, if people are not walking on high street and if people are not walking, yeah, because they're in lockdown, what do we do? We have no business. Okay, we have a lot of uncertainty, and that's the moment where a lot of them realize that hey, we need to go online, we need to start posting on Instagram, we need to start a YouTube channel, we need to start spending money on ads, we need to obviously connect with other people in our town for referrals. So I think it was a really big hit for a lot of people that were doing business like 30 years ago.
Sure. I even noticed this on Instagram. I never noticed this prior to about 6 or 7 weeks ago, but even, just scrolling on your feed on Instagram, you'll see an ad. You click on your friend's Instagram story, there's an ad. And I don't remember seeing that prior to, a few months ago.
Yes. Well, yeah, because people understood that hey, we need to advertise there because there are people on those platforms. And the beauty about online marketing is that you can pinpoint exactly who you want to see your ads. Okay, so there's no need for you to show your ad to some people, some guy that's not relevant. And that happens with billboards. Okay, and that happens with radio advertising. They're just annoying. But if you put an ad in front of someone who's actively looking for a house, or if you put an ad in front of someone that's looking to repair his credit score, then you are helping that person and you are helping your business as well. So you can make this genuine connection and you can actually add value to the people that you work with just by
Fair enough.
showcasing your ads online and using the correct targeting.
So where do you think, some people have talked about it would be obsolete, some people think it would still remain, but what will happen to those marketing channels like radio or television or billboards? Will they still be around, or what do you think the future will look like for them?
Well, a lot of them actually make the transition to online. So I think pretty much all the radio channels now are on Spotify, are on Apple. A lot of them you can find them. You can actually listen to them through their website. So that is not gonna die, I guess, or is gonna be a really slow death probably of those platforms. The TV, I guess is still gonna work because people still watch a lot of it. But once again, the TV companies are online as well, so you can find their latest episodes or their latest channels. You can always find them on YouTube. You can find them on a website. So they will be around as long as they will make the transition to online and as long as they will keep consistent doing online. What's the radio that went bankrupt 1 year ago? I think it's called Heart Radio, or the
Yes,
yes, yes. So that was the big radio that actually went bankrupt, and it's probably because they refused to make the transition, and because probably they did not catch up the trends that are going on inside the market right now.
absolutely. It seems like history is almost repeating itself. Kind of the
Yes,
same original bands who refused to be on MTV.
yes,
Um, and then later on, the few
100%.
that were the first to be on MTV, they ended up, having a lot more success.
100%. And I think for people that want to grow their business, for people that want to thrive in their lives, they always need to be looking at trends, opportunities, and they always need to look at where are the people going. Because once again, as we've talked before, we still need people. Okay, so those platforms are not gonna work without people. So if you look at people's behavior, if you look at what are people consuming, what are people doing right now, then you can actually start putting your brand in front of them. Then you can actually offer your audience what they want, which is super important. If you do not give people what they want, you are not gonna make sales. You are not gonna be in business for so long, because people only buy what they want, not particularly what they need, but what they want, which is a super important point for people that want to grow their business, for people that want to be relevant, and for people that want to do business in 20, 30 years from now.
Sure, absolutely. What do you think about, I guess, targeting based on the generation? So, for example, you would have maybe a baby boomer who watches cable television, but yet their children will refuse to watch and will be on YouTube.
Well, there's a place for everyone. I mean, if guys over 50s and 60 want to keep on watching television, that's fine. The television companies will offer them what they want. Okay, and if people that are my age or are younger than me are going on YouTube and on Spotify and on those platforms, it's perfectly fine. I mean, you can see that a lot of baby boomers made the transition to online. Not many of them still read the newspapers. They have the news on their iPad, they have the news on the phone. So the transition is taking place right now. It's happening, and I guess people need to once again understand what do their audience want. So if your audience doesn't want what you have to offer, then you're not going to be relevant, and your business is going to keep on going down.
Sure, absolutely. And it's interesting how that's pretty cross-cultural, regardless of what country you live in.
Yes, 100%, 100%. So I'm if you're looking at companies like big companies like Toys R Us and big clothing brands that once again refuse to go online and start advertising heavy on there, they are going bankrupt. Okay, so for example, if you are a construction worker, if you are in mortgages, you need to be in front of your people. You need to make sure that you are in front of your target audience. If your audience is not on Facebook, then don't be on Facebook. If your audience is not on Snapchat, then don't be on Snapchat. But just make sure that you are in front of the guys that you want to target. Okay. So once again, if you want to try, a big thing in marketing is testing. Okay, we do a lot of testing with every single client that we get, because we want to make sure, even though we know that a strategy is working, we still want to test some other strategies. So for example, if you want to advertise in the newspaper, you can still do it, and if that works for you, then hands on, keep on doing it, keep putting more money into it, but try and test different things. You can do TV, you can do newspaper, you can do radio, you can do Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. Just try a lot of them. Don't just think that, oh, that's bullshit, that's for kids, it's never gonna work, or I don't know how to do it. Just keep on doing it. Just do it and see which one performs better. In the moment where you see that, hey, this is just costing me too much money and it's not getting me the results, just kill that strategy and keep on pouring more money into other strategies. So it's all about testing. And I guess if you want to be, if you want to be on top, you always need to do marketing. You always need to keep on testing different strategies. Say Coca-Cola. I think they've done it all.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they are the top of the food chain. That's the reason why they are thriving. That's the reason why everyone knows them, because they've tried everything just to be in front of the audience, and in every single country. And look at them in Tokyo or in Japan or China, their advertising is not the same as in the US, because US people want to see something, US people have different needs or wants, and in Japan they have different ones. So they always adapt. They always look at what's the market doing, what do my audience wants to see, which I think is super important for you as a business owner, is super important for you as someone that wants to take their business to the next level, to see what does your audience want and how to be relevant to them.
Sure. So when you're talking about implementing these strategies and what essentially your customer wants, generally what do you find that aside from a dollar amount, or to increase their bottom line, what do most of your clients want?
Well, we are specialized into online marketing, so we do not do any newspapers and stuff like that. But in online marketing, you can always try different avenues. So, for example, we are going on with some clients, we are going heavy on Facebook and Instagram ads. But with some clients, like commercial ones, it's better for you to go heavy on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Okay, because in those platforms you have more flexibility and you have more chances to reach your ideal client. Look at LinkedIn is more about business owners, is more about business networking, so you'll have more chances to find business owners there that need a commercial space for their business. On YouTube, you can actually put content as a lender or as a realtor. You can put content about your area, your market, and all the people that will be looking for information in that market will see your YouTube video, and then they will start getting in contact with you. Another big thing that people can do is going have you on Instagram and Instagram influencers. If you have locally, you have a really big account, you can actually start getting in touch with with the person that owns the account and get a shout out from them, so you can actually grow your audience. Okay, for example, in here in my area, we have the best boxer in the whole UK, and people always contact him for shout outs, for endorsements, just because they cross the audiences. Okay, so if you want to grow if you want to grow your accounts with local people, just go heavy on these platforms: Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and you will find a lot of your audience and a lot of your target market in there.
Sure. So when you're talking about implementing these strategies and finding out what works for you, whether you're a commercial guy, building a YouTube channel, or you're more Facebook, or you're more Instagram, um, how do how are you measuring all of this? Are you measuring by clicks, or are you how do you measure where to put your money specifically for advertising and marketing?
Are you talking about paid advertising or just growing your audience organically?
Yeah, just growing it organically.
Well, just by the number of people that get in contact with you, because once again, as we've talked before, it's all about people. Okay, you want as many people as possible. You want a lot of people to see your content. So think about what does your audience want. Okay, so for example, if you are a realtor and you want to start a YouTube channel, okay, or you want to start an Instagram. Think about what do people want to see. Is this area safe? Does it have good schools? Make a tour. Talk about prices. Talk about how good of an investment it is to purchase a house in your area. Talk about things that people are interested to see specifically in your market. If you are a lender, you can talk about the prices right now. You can talk about whatever's involved in that transaction and people are interested to see. Okay, for example, for me, if I'm following a lot of realtors and I'm following a lot of mortgage brokers in the country, and I like to see that they put in the content and they talk to their audience. Okay, and it's all about an attention game. So the most important metric to look at is how many people are interacting with me. Okay, there's a lot of important metrics such as clicks and obviously engagement and people that are commenting and likes. But the bottom line should be look at how many people are following you. Look at how many people are actually starting conversations with you. Because we all want deals, yeah? We all want to make as many deals as possible. All want as much clients as possible. But if you're just consistent with being in front of your audience, providing value to your audience, just giving a lot of information to your audience, position yourself as an authority, position yourself as an expert in that industry, you'll find that a lot of people will actually contact you to ask you for quotes, to ask you for meetings. So I think that's super important to build your audience, to get as many followers as possible. Because just think about that. If you have 1,000 followers on Instagram, yeah, not all of those 1,000 people will contact you tomorrow to sign a deal. Okay, but probably one or two will in the next month, another guy will in the next 3 months, two other guys will. It's all about the people in your audience. The main thing here is just to consistently be in front of them, just to consistently remind them, hey, I'm Raz, I'm doing this. Okay, hey, I'm Mike, I'm a mortgage broker. Hey, I'm John, I'm a real estate agent. Just constantly be in front of them and constantly building your audience. And eventually you will start getting as many deals as possible.
Sure. So when you're talking about, making content, what do you find are some better, let's assume that I'm someone who wants to make content. I have some information in my head, but I don't know where to start. Where would you suggest someone to start when making content?
I think the best place to start is just pick up the camera. Okay, just buy a camera if you have the funds. If not, it's fine. You can actually record on your phones. I think the latest iPhones have the camera that was used 10 years ago to shoot movies. So it's bad
Wow.
what you have in your pockets right now. You can basically just grab it, record yourself talking about what's in your mind. When creating content, it's super important to um, say what you believe. Okay, it's super important to be natural and to just say what you think. Okay, so if you think that the prices will go down in your market, you can actually say that. If you think that prices are going up, you can say that. If you think that is a good opportunity, a good investment to go in another state, or probably just say whatever you think is good. Okay, just don't overcomplicate it. Just take the camera and just record yourself, or take the camera, take a picture, and always try and be yourself. Always try and be natural, because people are connecting with people. We all need to feel the human connection somewhere. And if people don't want to follow you because of who you are, then that's fine. They're never going to do business with you anyways. So just try and be as natural as possible. And yeah, once again, just pick up the camera and start recording it and be consistent. These two are the biggest pieces of advice that any content creator can get. Just one, pick up the camera, record it, or take a picture. Second one, be consistent and do it every single day, every single week. Practice it, and eventually it will start growing.
Sure. Yeah, it's easy in theory, but it can be hard to execute sometimes. But it's really a remarkable thing. I mean, you even said, 10 years ago they were shooting movies with what you have in your pocket right now.
Yes, 100%. And once again, it takes, if you want to build organically a following, then that's fine. You only need consistency, and building content and creating an audience is the same as building your career. Okay, if you want to be great at that career, you've got to be putting in the work every single day, every single week, month to month. Okay, and by building the content, by putting yourself out there, you are investing. Basically, you are investing in your real estate, which is you. You are investing in the project called your business. Okay, just putting in the work, growing the audience is gonna help you later, and you're gonna make yourself a much easier life just by putting in the work up front. And for the people that have some money to invest, then that's even better. You can start running some ads. You can hire someone to run your ads. You can hire someone to build your content. But that's for the people that actually have a little bit more money, that people that have some cash that they can invest and understand the importance of the and the power of social media and online marketing. But yeah, I mean, these are the basic steps. Pick up the camera, be consistent. If you don't want to do those things, hire someone to pick up the camera and hire someone to be consistent with your content. So yeah, it's
Beautiful.
really
Well
easy.
said. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say that you currently haven't?
Okay, so what I want to say about real estate, one of the biggest things that we realized is having quality. Real estate is all about visual, is really visual, is all about looking. So as I mentioned before, if you do not have a camera, just go and buy one. You can find really good cheap cameras out there, or just take out your phone. Once again, just record, shoot high quality pictures, hire someone to edit the pictures for you. Try and make sure that you are building your personal brand. Try and make sure that you get known in your market, and you can do this by either spending some money on advertising, by pushing the pushing the attention with some dollars, or you can just be consistent and putting yourself out there over and over again, and at some point it will just click, and at some point you will find that things are just easy.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And with all that being said, where can we find you online?
Well, I have a group and I have a website as well. You can link them down below, and yeah, people can find me there. You can find me at skynoxdigital.com. This is the platform where I put a lot of my content, and this is the platform where you can obviously interact with us and start a chat with us there. Or on my real estate group on on Facebook, we can start talking there. You can shoot me messages and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I've really enjoyed this talk. Learned a lot, not only about you, but also about the market in general. So thank you
Likewise,
so much.
likewise. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day and start building some content and go online.
Absolutely. Talk soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye bye.